I love the first season of the South Korean Netflix horror and thriller Hellbound. Now we get season 2. So how is it? As the chaos deepens, a lawyer of Sodo, the New Truth, and the Arrowheads are further entangled amid the sudden resurrections of the formerly condemned chairman. Full transparency, we didn't finish this. It's 6 episodes, each an hour long, and we got through 3 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we tried. Like, we really, really tried.
So excited
We were
for this.
so excited for this, and maybe that was our downfall. We have to get used to lowering our expectations when it comes to Netflix stuff, and that's sad to say because it used to be that they were at the top of the game, especially with South Korean content.
Yeah, what was exciting and mildly scary and thrilling in the first season devolves in the second season into a power play between belief factions. And it is so much more on the political play of these characters that I found myself struggling to even care about.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think there was one great filmed action sequence.
Oh my gosh.
That was so well done. I was like, well, okay, this is keeping me awake. And I really enjoyed that. And I was like, if they can keep up the pacing, I won't mind the political machinations of the 3 groups that's like forming a pyramid of them trying to attack each other, and everybody was vying for power, trying to control the law of the people as to who is actually a sinner. But at the end of the day, we all know by what we've seen in the first 6 episodes, doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, we don't even get, within the first 3 episodes, much new content when it comes to the fantastical natures of those beasts. What we do get is rehashed or other perspectives of things that we've seen already, which just doubles down on me going, what the heck, man?
This wasn't just once either.
No.
I mean, it rehashed. So we would watch an event play out, and then we would watch an event play out a little while later, which turns out to be the exact same event, just from a new perspective. Okay, you know what? Some of that's okay. I don't mind a little bit of that. It just shows that now we're seeing it from somebody else's point of view. But the scenes play out much longer than that.
Yeah.
And they just take forever to get to a point that we've already reached before. And that, I wouldn't mind if you showed us a tiny bit here and then leapt us to the end of that and then progressed from there.
Considering that it's only 6 episodes and that we're halfway through, the amount of story that they've kind of gone back over, okay, fair enough, it's different perspectives.
Yes.
But we've been here before. We haven't moved the story on before. We haven't expanded the lore of the creatures or the beast that is so well loved from the comics that they're based off of. And for me, I know there's a lot more fantastical nature of things. Now, I didn't just want that because fantastical stuff, just for the sake of fantastical stuff, gets boring. You've got to have the drama in there, the characters for us to care about. However, in these first 3 episodes, there is almost no one to care about. There might be one person that you're sort of rooting for, that you want them to kind of survive. But it's such a convoluted mess because it goes all over the place. There's literally one episode where we were wondering whether we were catching up or whether it was past or future. We had to go and check. It's that messy.
So it's become slow.
Yeah.
It becomes just a slog to get through, where we have characters that feel very much like strangers to it, which is unfortunate because I was connected to them, at least in some way, shape, or form, in the first season, and now they have just become nameless, faceless strangers almost.
Yeah.
So we didn't like the story. We didn't like how everything was progressing. We do get to see the Hell Beasts a couple of times.
Yep.
They look great.
Yep.
I thought that was done well. You touched on the action sequence.
Yes.
There were a couple that were pretty good. One was stellar.
Yes.
One reminded me exactly of Extraction with Chris Hemsworth, where it is like this one shot where the camera will go into a vehicle, then go through a whole bunch of craziness and pop back out of a vehicle or go
almost
into another
like a
one.
one take.
Yeah.
Cleverly filmed. Wonderfully done.
The other one featured a hand-to-hand combat. And this was great. I mean, the action and the energy were there, but so was the shaky cam. And I was a little bummed out.
My wife commented, it was like, slow your camera, man. We know you're good at what you're doing. Show us.
Yeah, because there was this point also where it didn't even need to be shaky cam. That was the other part. Like,
no, not at all.
The action was happening far away from us.
Shot.
Yeah.
Why do that?
Yeah, we don't need this all over the place. Just lock it down. Even if you're handheld and it's giving me a little bit of movement, okay, I'm fine with that. But this, it just jumbled everything. And then they put a couple of quick cuts within this too. And we saw what the character could do. So don't rob us of the other stuff.
Of people that are not that they're not experienced, they don't have confidence in what they filmed.
Yeah.
So if you go back to watch the first season, there is some of the quick cutting, but the action, for the most part, we get to see. Especially when the beasts are rampaging through, ripping people to shreds. We got to see that. Here, with this hand-to-hand combat, it's so convoluted because we go, oh, shaky cam, cut. But we know that they filmed it in once because we sort of saw it.
And she was badass.
And she was badass. And we wanted to, I was like, yes, finally.
I like that. Yeah. No, exciting and then just, yeah. I mean, I think this series could have had something going for it. It probably, I think if you're fully invested, maybe if you've read the manga, or is it a webtoon, whatever it's based on, whatever, if you've read that and like you're super fan of that, then maybe this is going to stick a lot better with you, and you're already going to feel invested within the characters more, and you're going to want to see how everything plays out. As the casual viewer who has not read the source content, coming into this, I feel very much like a stranger, and I feel like they took what was really working here and then decided to play with a whole lot of human tension and scheming that by itself is not a bad thing. To keep that, to include that, enriches the story. It makes it deeper, and it makes for some powerful, power plays, really. But we still need what also made it so great is these hell beasts appearing out of nowhere, 3 of them beating the crap out of somebody, and then all going, and torching somebody.
And empowering you to become Super Saiyan or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it just too much lack of depth, too much lack of progress within the story in favor of repetition and in favor of uninteresting storylines.
So I don't know that I would go back to it, but I am intrigued to see if there is a story that progresses in the last 3 episodes. I don't know that I'm intrigued enough to go to it, but if that is the case, that means it's going to be rushed. So either way.
Yeah. So obviously there's no score for this because we did not finish it. What I did see, there's only a tiny bit of nudity. There is no sex. There is profanity. There is violence. I mean, it's CGI'd violence, but it's still violence nonetheless. Yeah. I can't recommend watching it, unfortunately. And that's a really big bummer because I believe that I really, really enjoyed the first season.
Yeah, I did too. So with that, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. When you've seen it, if you watch it all, does it get better? We'd love to know.
If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is my best friend Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for catching with me.